Oh, hello. Okay, there's people. Okay. Hi, guys. Oh, wow. There's a lot of people on here. Okay. So I'm live right now on YouTube and TikTok. I'm just gonna Q&A basically. So if any of y'all have questions, just go ahead, type them in the chat, and I will try to answer as many as I can. I'm getting so many highs right now. It's not even funny. Okay, wait. Yeah, so like I said, just type any questions you have in the chat and I will try to answer them. How long have I been playing volleyball for? I've been playing since I was 7, so that's like 11 years. Oh, I actually got that on both sides. Um, I've played for 4 clubs actually. I played 4 no, 3 years at Mad Frog, 3 years at Skyline, 1 year at Tejas, and 1 year at Arte. Some of these aren't in English. I can't read that. What's the craziest rally you've ever done? Oh, I don't know that I can pinpoint. Actually, yes, I can. There was this one, it was in like a preseason tournament during school season this past year, and it was like game point, and this rally went on for at least like a minute and a half. It was insane. We ended up winning it. But I got like 3 or 4 crazy digs in a row. It was so fun. Um, how many times a week do you practice? That depends. So, like, for club, we usually practice 2 to 3 times a week, and then we'd have tournaments on the weekends, and then school, it was, like, every day. For college, it's gonna be every day but Mondays, I'm pretty sure. Um, so it kinda depends. Right now, I'm just trying to do privates, get in with friends, just get touches kinda however I can, so favorite part about being a libero? I think it's just, like, how fast-paced things are. Um, it's a lot of reaction time, like, all sorts of craziness is always going on. It's just you have to be really loud, you have to be kinda like cheerleader, um, hype up your teammates, especially your hitters, kinda tell them what they have open because you can kinda see the whole court. So I feel like that kinda leadership aspect of being a libero is probably my favorite. Consistent float serves, it's just about, like, your toss. Your toss is the biggest thing. So you wanna just get it consistent, and you can work on that just with a ball at home, literally tossing out in front of you, contacting up here, you can't see that, but, like, you wanna grab it like that, kinda at your highest point, and so that's how you can work on your toss, just doing that at home, and then just contacting palm of hand, is the other big thing. Okay, wait. I'm gonna give TikTok some love because I haven't been answering any of y'all's questions. What's your favorite job when you have to work? I love coaching, and that's pretty much the only job I've ever really had, so have you played any other position than libero? Actually, yes, I used to be an outside in, like, 11s, and then I just kinda stopped growing, so, yeah, but that was all I ever played other than DS. Do you know if you would coach at Fairfield and do camps there in the future? I'm sure, yeah, I'll end up doing some camps up there, and there's also, like, a Northeastern or something volleyball club up there that I'll probably do some lessons and clinics and stuff at. Um, what's the thing you struggle with most? That's a good question. I'd say just, like, consistency, especially with my mentality and serve receive because serve receive is, like, a whole mental game as compared to defense because in defense, everything's fast, like, you don't really know, like, what to expect, you're not waiting on it, whatever, but in serve receive, it's really mental because you just have to, like, sit there, wait on it while the server's, like, getting ready, and so I feel like, the mental game in serve receive is probably one of the hardest parts for me. Mm-mm. Dude, I'm so overwhelmed with questions. I, like, don't even know which ones to answer. Okay, what made you commit to Fairfield? So I really love just their program, the coaches, everyone I met there so nice, and I actually didn't wanna go far. I kinda wanted to stay around Texas, but when I ended up visiting the campus, it was just so pretty, and I loved the campus. Everything about the school is, like, the perfect size for me. It's also a Christian school, and so that's kinda how I've always been in, a Christian school like my whole life. So I think that's like a good foundation for me to have. So I really like that. Uh, 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 uh. A lot of y'all are asking for, like, tryout tips. I have a whole video of that posted on my YouTube, so just visit that after this, and that will help y'all out because it's a whole process, I'm telling you. Um, how do you set? I don't know that I can do a whole setting tutorial right now, but, it's really just about, like, your hand placement, getting all those fingers on the ball, keeping it on your forehead. Let's see. Okay, these are getting repetitive. Wait. How do the victory insoles help you as a libero? They're good for like push off and stuff. Because it basically the idea is that it returns your energy whenever you like step or jump or any of that. And so it makes you fast and like your push off speed really much better. As well as like jumping like jump serves too. And like sometimes I have to jump up and get like high stuff above my head because I'm really short. So they do help with that. Also, I have a libero tips posted on my YouTube, so check that out for those asking. Did you make varsity first year? So I was technically placed on JV first year, but then they pulled me up like mid-season. Oh, my phone's dying. Oh no. Okay, my phone's dying. Anyway, they pulled me up mid-season to varsity my freshman year, and I didn't play much, but I did get a few moments to shine there. But I did play JV and varsity freshman year. How did okay. Um, when's your next camp lesson? So I do lessons like every week. If you go to my website, delaneymoon.com, there's like my availabilities posted there, and you can fill out the form on that website as well. And then as for clinics, I don't do many clinics, but the one coming up with me and Grace is the end of this month. So that's going to be super fun. If you haven't registered for that, go ahead, hop on my website, and there's a link to that there. And that will be so, I'm so excited for that. Y'all have no idea. Um, oh, Riley, yes, I do remember you. Actually, that's so cute. Good to see you again. Um, how do you get looks from colleges? So actually, I know that there's a lot of recruiting sites and stuff, services that are helpful in a way. But for me, the way I got recruited to Fairfield is actually just they walked by my court during a qualifier, and they kind of saw like my energy, all that, and they're like, "Hey, I kind of like her," and so they stuck around, watched me for a bit. So I think having a good attitude and just a lot of energy during tournaments, as well as sending your tournament schedule out to coaches in advance if you're interested in their school, that's a really good way for coaches to get views because they're always walking around tournaments and stuff. And so, yeah, I think those are 2 very, very good ways to get recruited. Very easy ones too. Did your social media help with college coaches? Not really. I wouldn't say it helped necessarily, but I will say one thing is my website, because I had things just kind of about me, stats, history, as well as film. I had all that up there, and I think that did help me. And that's just one easy thing that I can just direct coaches to my website, and then they can kind of see everything about me from there. So I'd say that was the one side of social media that did help with that. Mm-mm-mm. Fairfield is in Connecticut. I'm 18 years old. Drills for reflexes. Okay, I would say so you have a wall, right? Say we have a wall right here. You want to face that wall, and then you can either serve against the wall. and then just kind of work on your angles and stuff. Stand maybe 15 feet off the wall just so it's kind of coming fast back at you. You can either serve at the wall yourself and just work on your angles, reflexes, like getting under the ball, or have someone behind you. This is even better. Someone behind you serve against the wall so that way you don't really know where it's coming from, and it's more to help with your reaction time. I think that's a really good way to work on both angles and reaction. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday, Danix. Tosses for serving. I went over this briefly earlier, but I would just say instead of thinking about like popping it up out of your hand like a quick toss, just think about lifting, just straight up. And then the ball will kind of fly right out of your hand. So it's not going too high and it's really controlled, not much spin on it. And then you can work on tosses. Like I said earlier, you just toss up and then contact and hold the ball like this. So that way you can work on tossing without having to full on serve. And so that'll just help with your consistency. And you want to always keep it kind of in front of your dominant side a little bit. So if you were to drop it, it would drop kind of right in between your 2 feet. How tall are you? I'm 5'2". Gear that I recommend, all of my gear and stuff is linked on DelaneyMoon.com, and so anything that's up there is gear that I've had a good experience with, so I would recommend all of those. Oh my gosh, it keeps jumping. I'm like trying to read a comment and then it'll jump. Okay, staying low when you're passing, I would just say focus on your head level. That's the one thing that'll kind of, it's a good way to gauge how low you're staying. So just think about keeping your head kind of at the same level. It should be right at the net, the bottom of the net, kind of maybe even a little bit below it. So if you just focus on keeping your head at the same spot whenever you're moving, that should help with your head level and staying down. Do you go to the gym? Yes, I do work out quite a bit. I don't know that I can go through my whole routine right now, but I definitely train a lot of legs just because it's important to be able to stay in a squatted position, stay low, and be explosive as a libero. Um, but I also do train shoulders and like back and stuff to help with like my arm swing when it comes to serving and things. I have like a whole, I guess, set workouts right now for college that I'm doing every day, but honestly, you could probably look up some good ones like libero or volleyball workouts online, and they're all pretty much the same, pretty accurate, so whoa. Oh, Danix, happy birthday again. Hope you got that one. Um, how far do you plan on going with volleyball? I don't know that I'm going to play anywhere past college. Like, if the opportunity presented itself, yeah, I would probably. But I don't necessarily plan for that as of right now. Mm, 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 mm. I'm studying communications when I'm at Fairfield. Oh my gosh. This literally every time I try to read a, like, comment, it'll, like, jump. It's kind of annoying. Have you ever played beach? No, I haven't, but I do play, like, with my friends a lot. It's just a fun way to kinda stay active, and I do like beach. It's just I like indoor more, so I never really got into it, but do you think you have to be short to be a libero? No. I've seen some really good liberos that are like 6 foot or more. And me personally, I'm thinking if you're 6 foot, you should be a hitter. But that's just me being selfish because I'm 5'2" and this is all I have. The libero position is all I have. So please. Um, oh my gosh, stop. Okay. I'm gonna go to TikTok because I've not been giving y'all any love. Can you get recruited D1 if you play on a B team? I don't know what level B team you're talking about, but I know, like, Lucia, she was on B team, and then she ended up going D1, and then if you mean B team, like, 2nd team at your club, absolutely, like, I was on 2nd team at Skyline for yeah, at Skyline, and, it wasn't really an issue, like, I still got good looks as long as you just have, um like, you tell coaches your schedule so that they can come watch you and, like, send film and all that, you should be perfectly fine. Tips on oh, whoa. Okay, tips on diving and pancaking? I would just say, like, use your range. So you want to go, like, for pancakes, you wanna extend that arm out as far as you possibly can, so you're using your entire range because that is, like, a last-second emergency move, and then diving, you just wanna push off really hard with that last step, so get momentum going into it with a few steps, and then that last step is really important where you push off far, so you're not just, like, flopping, but you're kinda going with a forward movement into it. Whoa. Oh my gosh. How do I build a volleyball account? I would just say, like, stay consistent with your posting. Don't post, like, too long of highlight videos. Um, so I'd say, like, posting shorter videos, just, 1 rally, and it's good to get vertical film if that's possible too, and just being consistent about posting and interacting with viewers as well as just posting relatable content things, not just, volleyball. Yes, I will be doing more privates in Connecticut as well. I'm pretty sure the club's called Northwestern. I could or Eastern or somewhere up there. You know what I mean if you're up there. Um, let's see. Can you be a right side as a righty? Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of right side righties. Sure, it's sometimes helpful to be lefty, but not always. Okay. Oh, are these actually coming in this fast? Because there's no way. There's only 72 people on here. Literally, I can't how do I deal with shoulder pain from serving? I'm actually dealing with this myself a lot right now because I've been coaching so much, but I know that it's a lot about using your hips and, like, your torso whenever you're serving, so open, close is kinda, like, one of the first things they teach you in serving, so really exaggerating that movement so you're not overusing just your shoulder, that open, close movement is really important. Are you D1? Yes, indeed. Are the victory insoles worth it? I do actually believe so. I've been using them for, like, so long, um, that it's hard for me to even have, like, a baseline of, like, not using them just because 'cause I've used them for literally years, but I love them. High school tryouts, I know, mine at least were just, like, they kinda split us up by, position, I think, at one point, and then there was also, like, a little physical part, but it wasn't, at least for my school, that strenuous, and so it's a lot of just playing, like, you do some drills at the beginning, but most of it for me was at least just playing, and so you just wanna be really loud, really engaging, talk to the coaches, and then yeah, high school tryouts are great because you also have friends, there, hopefully, and yeah. I'm telling y'all, I literally can't read these comments because they're, like, popping up so fast. Um, like, is there a way to stop them? I'm so serious. Every time I try to read one, it, like, goes away. Okay, I'm going to TikTok because I actually can't read the YouTube ones. Volleyball ick, gosh, that has to be, like, short socks because I was playing with my friends and I was going from somewhere else and I forgot socks and it was actually painful, like or not forgot socks, like, I had short socks on, and I literally made my dad bring me some long socks, and now I have an extra set in my bag because it was actually painful to me. Uh, let's see. Tips for fighting for a libero spot, I would just ask your coach, things like, "What can I do to improve?" or "What do you wanna see in a libero?" and then just apply those things. You wanna be really aggressive whenever you're on the court, really show that libero mentality of, like, "Every ball is mine, every ball's getting up." And so, yeah, I would just say also communication is huge as a libero, so, you want to be very, very chatty. Okay, this person's spamming. How do you feel about Tejas? I didn't have personally the greatest experience there, but that wasn't necessarily the club. That was just kind of my team. Not getting into that. But okay, I'm done trying to read the YouTube ones. Are there going to be lesson openings next week? Yes, there will be. I'll be out of town probably like Wednesday, Thursday, but other than that, yeah, I'll have some openings. Just go to my website. When is the thing with me and Grace? It's the 21st through the 23rd. It depends on your age group what day you are, but if you're signed up, I will see you there. Can you coach at Dig again? I'll be in college, otherwise I would. And I still do lessons and stuff there some, so if you wanna see me, sign up for a lesson. Can you do privates in Oklahoma? That's not that far, but I will probably be staying in North Dallas. How do you balance schoolwork and volleyball? I think the biggest thing for time management is just whenever you have a second of time, I'm telling you, that's when you want to do your schoolwork. So if you're in class and you're done with all your stuff for that class, go ahead, just start working on stuff. If you just have some random free period, whatever, um, just work whenever you can. So then you're not stressed out maybe that night when you have practice or a game or whatever. That and if you have, like, car time and you're able to work in the car, that's also a great way to, manage your time. Ooh, if I could choose to play anything that's not libero, I'd probably be an outside. I'd go back to my outside glory days of middle school and 11's year, just because, like, they get to pass, you get to hit and, like, block, all that, and I would probably need to be a bit taller, but it's okay. We're saying it's a hypothetical. I've never played at A5, but they are so good. It's because 'cause I'm not from there. Um, oh my gosh, could you do a clinic in Austin, Texas? I don't know about that. I was actually just in, like, Central Texas, though, which is a little bit closer, but I know girls that have been coming in from Austin to actually work, with me and are coming in for the, clinics, so if you wanna try to convince your parents, come up to the clinic with Grace and I. Alright, let's see. Best volleyball shoes. Some of my favorite volleyball shoes that I ever had, they were Jo Le they were some basketball player, I don't even know, I forgot, but, they were actually discontinued, and I'm so, so mad about it, because I loved those things and I wore them to literal death, but I do have some of my other favorites linked on my website. Actually, I think those are still linked even though they're discontinued, but so you get to at least see what they looked like, but why did you leave Skyline? I followed my Skyline coach to Tejas, and because I didn't want to play for the Skyline coach that year, and so I just followed my old coach to Tejas that year. Oh, no, wait. How do you get out of your head when you're doing bad? I would say have, like, a reset, like, motion, something. I always do a snap, clap, whatever, like, and that reminds me to kinda move on after I made a mistake, and so I think that kinda reset, that physical thing is, a good way to get over mistakes, and then sometimes literally I'll be sitting in serve receive and I have to tell myself, like, "I don't care, like, whatever, like, chill," and so that way everything kinda loosens up, and, that is another way that I kinda get out of my head on a bad day. How to be confident on the court? I would just say, especially if you're a libero, but really for anyone, it's just being loud, like cheering on your teammates, and that'll kind of uplift your attitude, I guess. Just being a good team player as well as talking all the time. Just having that mentality of like every ball's mine. So if you're a libero, you see a tip, you're going for it. Like you're calling it if you can get there. Obviously, trust your teammates, but at the same time, be aggressive as well as like if you're a hitter, say tell your setter, "Hey, set me." Like, don't be scared to communicate and be aggressive. Mhm, mhm. Tips on overhand serving? Um, I would just say the biggest thing I said this earlier, but the biggest thing is your toss, just keeping it consistent so that you can get a good arm swing, as well as thinking about, like, fast arm swing instead of necessarily powerful because speed equals power for you, and then just making sure you're contacting on your palm as well as at your highest, contact point. Oh, and come to New York? I will be near New York in Connecticut, in literally a month is when I move into college. What if a parent keeps yelling at you, but it's not your parent? Um, I would tell your parent to address it to that parent because that's not great. They shouldn't be doing that, but, um, yeah. They should not be doing that, but generally when I'm playing, I feel like I tune things out really well just because 'cause I'm, like, in the zone, so just think about focusing on, like, your team and the game and, just try to tune everything out. I know it's not the easiest thing, but it does come with time and practice and just keeping in the zone, and that will be a factor, especially in high school, because the student sections can get rowdy, so you gotta get used to it. Tips how to not let my coach break me down. That is a tough situation, a tough question, and something I do have plenty of experience with. So, I would just say you turn to your teammates for like kind of support, I guess, especially on the court during practices, whatever. Just kind of hype up your teammates and they will support you. And then if you have a close friend on the team, maybe kind of just ask them for a little bit of support. And then you just can't take anything to heart. Like anything that your coach says that's not, strictly about the game, strictly about like how to get better, just don't take it to heart, basically. Tune them out. Tips on a good serve receive platform? I would just say holding your platform and like forming angles early is the most important part of serve receive because if you get caught, forming angles late, swinging out, you won't be able to get a consistent good pass. So, okay, sorry, got distracted. So, forming out away from you too, so creating space between kind of your body and your platform, your body and the ball is another really, really important thing when it comes to passing. You don't want to be uptight on yourself. I loved Arte as a club. Probably one of my best club experiences. Okay. This one person really wants my makeup routine, so, right now I just have on, like, concealer and a tiny, tiny bit of blush. Usually I'll put, like, some powder bronzer, um, a little bit of mascara, swoop up my eyebrows, and that's really about it. Do you ever shank the ball? Of course. Advice to avoid injuries. Okay. I would say just strengthening all your little muscles. So, like, obviously, the big muscles, like your quads, your hamstrings, glutes, all that. Like, yes, you want that to be strong as well as like in your shoulders. Like, obviously, there's the big muscles too in your arms and stuff. But you want to like use exercises that strengthen kind of the lesser muscles, the like little ones, because those are generally the ones that'll tweak or like something will go wrong with them. Um, and so you want to work on kinda like I don't even know, it's really hard to explain. I've luckily had good trainers and stuff that can kinda help me with that, so I can't really help you out with that, but definitely if you have a trainer, or some sort of conditioning person, I don't know what to call it, then just ask them about strengthening stuff to avoid injuries. Okay. Everyone suddenly wants to know about vertical. Okay. So obviously you're just kind of training your leg muscles, whether that's in weightlifting. Actually, you want to do a combination of both weightlifting and explosiveness stuff. So you can work on that using like box jumps, as well as just like squats and even, like, jump squats, like, jumping lunges, if you know what I mean. So that'll all help with explosiveness as well as muscle. What's a vertical? That's how high you can jump. Okay, going back to TikTok. Is it possible to get recruited to D1 if you play for a club that doesn't go to nationals? So I'm assuming that means, like, you don't do qualifiers and stuff. So I would just say, like, there are still some big tournaments you'll probably go to, so just send out film as well as, sending coaches your schedule before a tournament so that they can hopefully come watch you. That'll be a good way to get recruited in that situation. Tips for serving, just contacting at your highest point, like I said this earlier, but, contacting highest point kinda out in front of you, using kinda your whole body, so that torque movement of opening, closing, as well as just focusing on a fast arm swing, because speed for your arm swing does translate to power in your serve. For diving, you literally just have to get over the mental block. Like, that is the biggest, most important, and probably toughest step, is getting over that mental, like, scaredness of diving. And so, for me, I was never really scared of diving, so it's kinda hard to explain how to get over it. Because I loved diving so much when I was younger. It was kind of a bad thing because I loved it too much, but, I would just say you can practice at home, so if you have, like, long sleeves, you can get on a carpet. Don't do it with short sleeves because 'cause you'll get carpet burn, but, just kinda diving out on that soft surface, can help you, as well as just your last step is kinda your most important step because you don't wanna flop, you don't wanna just crash, you have to push off so you're going forward into your dive. That's also really important for not getting hurt. Yes, I like the A ASO, I'm assuming is how you say it, ankle, braces. I think that's actually what I have. I don't wear them all the time, but whenever my ankle's giving me trouble, I'll wear it. And I think, like, those are probably some of the best, ankle braces out there. A lot of y'all are asking for tryout tips. I do have a whole video posted on it, on my YouTube, so go ahead and just check that out after this live, because that will explain it a lot better than I could right now. I won't be able to Okay, I'm getting spammed about Fieldhouse. I won't be able to be a coach at Fieldhouse, but I can do lessons in small groups, or if you have a whole team that wants to come in and do a lesson with me, we could probably find it in the middle meeting place. But I will be leaving for college in literally a month, so I've actually posted a diving tutorial before on this on my YouTube as well as my TikTok. Is it just me being a lib is actually fun, even getting hurt diving for crazy balls? I agree with that. Like, I've flown over chairs so many times or like done really stupid things to get to a ball, but I think it's so worth it, honestly, as long as it's not like a career ending injury, which thank you, Jesus, I haven't had. So, getting over a bad play, not being negative. I did mention this earlier, but basically just having a reset motion. So, snap, clap, whatever it may be for you. That is a good way to kind of get out of your head and just a physical reminder to move on. Okay. Tips to join Skyline. I've seen this comment a million times. It's really, I mean, it's the same as any other club. It's just you have to be really engaging with the coaches at tryouts as well as with, all the other girls at tryouts, so that they kind of see your personality as well as your skill. And then you can just watch my tryout tips video, and that will kind of give you a good basis for really any club tryouts or school. Tips for becoming a libero as someone who's 5'5" and you're taller than most people. Okay. I wish I was 5'5", man. I mean, height isn't like there's no too tall to be a libero, really. And so I would just say as long as you're able to still be agile and as long as you're working hard for it, still being 5'5" is not at all a disadvantage. It's probably actually the perfect height. I am 5'2". Dolphin dives without sleeves? To me, that sounds like a terrible idea. So I don't really know that I could give you tips for that. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend. Might wanna invest in some arm sleeves if you want a dolphin dive. Let's see. Tips on reading hitters. Okay, there's a lot to that one, but basically, in a nutshell, you wanna look at kind of their hips, their first step of their approach, where they're facing, where they're going. Usually the first step is a pretty dead giveaway. So if they're stepping hard cross and, into the angle, um, that's kinda your first sign versus line, whatever. And then the other thing you wanna look at is kinda like their shoulders, where they're facing. Obviously, they are gonna open, close, but so you wanna see kind of that last second, how far they're closing. As well as their elbow. This is the big one. Their elbow will give you a lot of information. So if it's down here, it's gonna be tip, roll shot. If it's up high all the way extended, it's gonna be tip. And then if they're back and loaded all the way, be ready for a full swing. Why did I choose my number? I actually get this question so much, and I just don't have an answer. Like, I genuinely don't know. Um, I liked 1 is probably my favorite jersey number. I just feel like it's really just a libero number to me. Like, I don't know why. It's just like 1, like, simple top of the roster, like, um, yeah. So, I don't really know why, but I do just kinda like, um, the simplicity of it almost too. And then 5, literally, I'm telling y'all, I wanted to be 1 in school, and I could have, but the jersey was, like, too big, so I ended up going with 5, and then I'm sticking with that for college because 1's taken. Alright. Hmm. these are all getting really repetitive now. When are you going to Fairfield? I move in exactly a month from today. Tips for tracking the ball, I would say so a lot of people like to track midline, I like to track to one of my hips. So, it's just like you have to kinda see the ball and keep your head level kinda the same the whole time you're moving. You don't wanna, like, be popping up and down, because that way you'll kinda lose focus of the ball. So you wanna keep your head level pretty much the same the whole time you're moving so that you can keep track of the ball easily. And then I always like to kinda find an angle here at one of my hips as opposed to center line all the time. It's easier to adjust that way for me. Yeah, of course, I can always be willing to take pictures after games. Um, unsupportive teammates. Yikes. I would just say hopefully you have at least 1 or 2 supportive teammates, so I would just lean on them if you can. If not, if you have a good coach, you can kind of feed off of their energy. Other than that, I'd just say kinda be your own hype man, like, hype, yourself up just internally, mentally, as well as hyping your teammates up, so hopefully that kinda energy will rub off on them and that they will be better about their supportiveness. 13 isn't too old to start, absolutely not. I know some really, really good people who started late. I only played 1 year at Arte this past 18's year. Platform breaks after down balls. Okay, I would just say maybe change up the way you pass, like you hold your platform. For the longest time, I've always done this, kind of fist hold, but I've been trying to transition a little bit more to like why can't I not get in the frame? Oh my gosh. Anyway, to to this so that my whole like arm is exposed and it's more of a platform. So maybe just try to change up the way that you hold your platform. I think this would probably be the more supportive way to hold as opposed to that. Okay, suddenly everyone's asking about serves again. So it's just contacting at your highest point all the way up high, as well as keeping it out in front of you, not like on top of you, keeping it on your dominant side a little bit. And your toss is super important. So just keeping that consistent will help with your arm swing and keeping your serve consistent, as well as just that fast arm swing is the most important thing. Yes, I am playing college volleyball at Fairfield. I've been playing since I was 7. Libero defense tips. Okay. Um, I would just say, like, staying neutral kind of the whole time you're being ready, to play defense. So that means with your hands kind of being in this like, I like to keep them kinda right at my armpits so that I can go down, up, kinda whatever I need to do, as well as keeping your weight centered in the middle of your body. So, like, not too far back on your heels, not too far on your toes, but kinda right on the ball of your foot, and then shoulders slightly in front of knees, hips back, so that literally your weight is straight in the center of your body. And that'll help you be ready. I like to usually stagger a foot, so whichever foot is on the outside of the court, like if I'm left or right back, um, keep that foot in front so that you can easily push off as well as let anything go that's out and keep your hips facing into the court. Mm-mm. Do you want to go D1? I will be playing D1 in a month, so scary. Do you ever do one-handed passes on purpose? Coaches tell me not to. So every coach trains, like especially really just any coach, trains to always use 2 hands. I say that if you can get 2 hands there, get 2 hands there, but as long as it's in control. So like if there's a ball that's coming really, really fast, like, right kinda to the side of me. I'm not gonna have time to get all the way out there, get both hands there, and, like, get that angle right. So I'd just say, depending on how fast it's coming and how far out away from you it is, you can go with one hand if it's more comfortable because sometimes, like, you can't get there with two hands. So it just depends how fast and how far. Um, Getting better during off season, I would say just doing like workouts, whether that's like private lessons or like literally like weightlifting and all that fun stuff. Because I found that that really helps me just with strength and all of that, to stay consistent. I won't be playing club in college. For spot serving, okay. The biggest thing is that you want to face your hand and finish wherever you're trying to serve. So obviously, your hips kinda start open to the court, but you wanna close exactly where you're serving, and then just follow straight through with that arm, kinda let your torso do the work in terms of, aiming, and follow straight through thumb to thigh. Positioning yourself in defense, you just always wanna stay outside of the block. That's, like, the biggest thing, as well as being kind of mid-court, so if you're middle back, you wanna stay pretty neutral where you can go either direction, or if you're left back, you wanna stay not too shallow, but also not too deep, so always kind of finding that mid-court balance right outside your block. Do you play any other sports? I don't anymore, but I used to do taekwondo. I was a third-degree black belt, and then I also played softball for a long time, but those were my 2 big sports aside from volleyball. Everything else I just kinda did for a year or 2 and quit. Oh, okay, okay. I will talk about setting. I will talk about setting, I promise. So you just gotta, like, focus on basically I don't have a volleyball in my room right now, but, um, keeping that kind of triangle with your hands here, let's see with these fingers, as well as just getting all those fingers on the ball and staying right on your forehead, so you don't wanna be too far behind you, you don't wanna be too far in front. Getting your feet there, getting planted so you can drive with your legs. Those are my best setting tips. Mm, 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 mm. Standing out as a libero. It's really just about talking and being, aggressive on the court, really just having that mentality of, like, everything is yours, um, within reason, obviously, trusting your teammates, but also talking to your teammates about, say, if they're a hitter, what they have open on the court, where they can hit, as well as talking seams, all of that, that and just if you have, like, an extra good skill that you're really good at, whether that's, like, you have a crazy serve or if you have or if you can set with your hands, I think having, like, a secondary skill is good as a libero. It's the hardest thing for you to overcome as a libero? I would say being overlooked. I feel like sometimes liberos don't quite get, like, the, same recognition that, say, like, all the big hitters get, and so just realizing your worth, I think sometimes is really important as a libero, so yeah. Okay, let's see. TikTok. What you got? Okay, everyone's asking for tryout tips. Like I said, I do have a whole video posted on tryout tips, so I'm just gonna direct you to that on my YouTube. That will be your best bet for tryout tips because I know I will miss something. Let's see. Tips for out of system setting. So if you're going with your platform, I think the biggest thing is using kind of your legs as opposed to your arms. You don't want to like really pop the ball because that'll put some spin on it. You want to just easy drive. Like think of it as kind of pushing the ball where you want it as opposed to like popping it out where you want it. And then when it comes to setting, just really like overhand setting, just knowing where you are on the court is really important because obviously if you're in front of the 10-foot line, you can't set with your hands to a hitter that attacks. So, just court awareness is really important when it comes to out of system setting, as well as just getting your feet under the ball so you can get a hard push. When did I start recruiting process? Ooh, I want to say like mid 16s year. So, um, yeah, because coaches can start talking to you June 15th before your junior year or 17th year of club. So I think I started like mid 16s with emailing coaches and all that shebang. What team do I play for? Well, I played Arte, was my club this past season, but I'm gonna be on Fairfield University's team this in a month. Tips or exercises to set higher. Um, I just say use your legs. Like that is really an underrated thing, using your whole body to push the ball. So get down, load your elbows as well as your knees, and then push all the way with everything. Give it all you got. How to be a leader without sounding bossy? Okay. I feel like a lot of it's kind of in the tone that you say things, as well as kind of knowing your limits of what to say. You don't want to be coaching your teammates, but you do want to help them out. So just saying like, "Hey, this is open to hit," um, instead of, "Hey, like your elbows low," or "Don't tip into the like," you don't wanna do the coach's job, but you do wanna help your teammates out because you can see what's going on the court, as well as just, like, being encouraging, so maybe giving a piece of advice and then, tell them, "Hey, go get it, like, you've been doing great at this," like, whatever. I feel like that's a good way to be a leader without being bossy. I probably would've gone to OU, Oklahoma University, um, given a choice just because it's close to home and it's yeah, but I'm really happy with my choice at Fairfield. I didn't really know about it before the whole recruiting process, so okay, let's see. Best way to get noticed by colleges, sending out your court schedule, your tournament schedule, to coaches in advance to try to get their attention, show interest, as well as just being super loud aggressive. That's literally how I got recruited to my college. They walked by my court and I was just yapping, I guess, and they were just like, "I love her energy," she's being really aggressive, and so that's actually how I got recruited. So you never know who's watching, basically. Daughter's extremely short for her age, still wants to be a libero. Honestly, I mean, I am way too short supposedly, based on the guidelines for, NCAA D1, but here we are, so I just tell her to go for it, and um, you just have to basically kinda know your limits, know how to adjust, and how to, because sometimes you have to use, like, unconventional methods to get to balls, especially, like, in your range, whether that's up high or way behind you, whatever. So just kinda knowing your limits and how to adjust to it is really important for short liberos. Is being a tall libero okay? Yeah. I know tall liberos, like 6-foot liberos that are amazing, but that doesn't mean every 6-foot person be a libero, please. Please do save libero spots for the shorties. I'm 5'4", can I be anything other than libero? Um, you can be a setter probably. It also depends on the level, like, of play you're looking at. So, generally, if you're planning on going to, like, a higher level, given like, say, college, you do have a chance as a setter, but generally, you wanna, like, be versatile, basically, so be able to play, like, libero, but also, set maybe if you want to. Because I have a teammate that was probably 5'4", 5'5", that's going to college as a setter. I'm 5'1", should I stick with libero? I'm gonna be honest, girl, probably. Uh, uh, let's see. Should I play my grade for a late birthday and clever play a year down based on age? I would try to go with your, like, graduating class, if that makes sense. So I don't really know what that's gonna be for you, but go with people in your grade so that you can kinda stick with those people your whole club career. I feel like that's the better bet. Let's see. I've been playing since I was 7. How to get over the mental block of diving? So you can work at home on it a little bit. So if you have like carpet or a rug or something soft, okay, I just saw something fly by. Anyway, and you can wear long sleeves so you don't get carpet burn. You can just kind of work on diving on that like soft surface. And then just getting a good push off on your last step is so important when it comes to diving because that means you're committed to it and you're diving forward as opposed to kind of flopping. And that will help you with the mental aspect of it. Okay, getting into high school, should you start posting on social media? I don't know that it's really of any benefit necessarily. I would just say make sure you're still putting together like highlights and stuff. Some coaches can find you through social media. That's not my experience, but I do know that that's a possibility. And you can kind of direct them to your social media, or say if you have like a website or something, that would be kind of a use for it, I guess. But it's definitely not necessary. Do you prefer leggings or spandex? I usually wear spandex, but sometimes, like, if my legs are hurting or if it's cold in the gym, I will wear leggings. Let's see. Okay. Um, tips for a 4'8" libero. Wow. I would just say, like, knowing kinda your limits of how high you can reach, all that, so that you can know whether you need to, like, turn around or try to go up for balls and stuff. And also just finding, like, unconventional ways to try to get to the ball, whenever you find that it's too high or anything like that. I'm homeschooled, will I still get noticed? I would say if you're in a club volleyball program, that will be your best bet. Most recruiting doesn't happen through school anyway. So as long as you're on another team, you should be good. How do you mentally prepare for a game? I am the type of person who needs some like me time before a game or before something big when I'm stressed out. Like I kind of take like some time to myself, just put headphones in, whatever, and just for a couple minutes, like right before the game, just kind of take time to myself. Like obviously, if my team's like getting hype, whatever, I'll join in with them. But just taking like a couple seconds even to just reset, just take a deep breath moment to myself. I feel like that really helps me get ready for big games. Do you have a favorite energy drink? Yes, I love Alani's. Sometimes I'll drink Celsius if that's not available, but I prefer Alani's as my energy drink. What other position I would play? I would definitely be an outside if I was tall enough, but it's okay. I would say when you're 16 is when you should probably start trying to reach out to colleges and get some views. Some good at-home volleyball practices. I was actually working on a video for this, but I only really have 1 or 2 that I can think of. But basically, if you have like a big wall that you can use, just like serving against the wall and then just working your angles and passing, or if you have someone else that can serve from behind you against the wall, that'll help you work on reaction time as well as passing. Um, and so, yeah, just move it around, work on your angles, and then, like, if you wanna do some just agility stuff, just kinda cutting around, working on transition, you can do that as well as when it comes to serving, you can, toss up the ball, or not like that, like, do your normal approach toss, whatever, and then just kinda catch the ball up at your highest point, and that'll simulate a serve just without the actual hit, so you don't break something in your house. How often do you train? So training, if you're defining that as playing volleyball, I would say I've been trying to have, like, a private or 2, kinda during this off time a week, and then, generally during clubble practice, like, 2 to 3 times a week for a couple hours, and then tournaments, but for school, it's, like, every day. So, it kinda depends whether I'm in season or not, but, especially during off season too, and even in season some, I'll weight lift, right now, it's every day because 'cause I'm off season, but let's see. Mm. Me and Grace were literally just, like she happened to be in town, and so that's why we're doing the clinic, like, it wasn't even necessarily a planned thing, she was just gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be in Dallas, like, at this time," and I was like, "Dude, what if we just did a clinic?" She was like, "Oh my gosh," and so it's not like a thing we're gonna be doing often necessarily, so please try to get in this one if you can, but we will try our best maybe moving forward, but no promises. Game day hairstyles. I always like to have a braid. So whether that's just like one little braid, like normal braid up into a ponytail, or like two Dutch, one of my favorites probably like for big game days is two Dutch braids right here, and then put it in a ponytail up here. That or I'll do like a big bubble braid or just ponytail and braid, and kind of just depends how much time I have in the morning. That or I'll do one of my favorites too is a dragon braid, but it takes so much time to do, so I don't get to do it that often. How do you do better slickbacks? Girl, I don't do slickbacks. You see this forehead? Like, come on. We have to why? Okay, TikTok is trying to end my live because it's saying I'm inactive. Hold on. Let me fix this. Ah! Wait. You know how it does like the little like puzzle thing? I just missed it. Okay, that was weird. TikTok just tried to end my life because it said I was inactive. I've been yapping this whole time, but thank you. Um, let's see. Anyway, back to the slick back. I do not Slickbacks are not my thing. They are just not, because of this. So but I just use hairspray whenever I do a relatively slick back. I don't do, like, the whole gel thing. Okay, I just messed that up really badly. Let's see. Mm, mm. What hairspray? I use, like it's a big red can. I think it's called, like, Big Sexy Hair or something. I don't even know. It's good, though. Look for the big red can. What time is it here? It's almost 9 o'clock. Will you ever come to Colorado and do your own clinic? I actually am going to Colorado the end of this month. I have a cabin in Creede, Colorado, so if that's anywhere near you, hit me up and we can do a lesson up there, hopefully. Could a jump float serve get me on a good team as 14U? Um, a jump serve is a really good skill to have, but you also do have to have other skills. Generally, you're gonna want to have, like, a set position at 14U, but hi, Gianna. Let's see. Going back to, YouTube over here. My coach called me fat. That's horrible. I'm very sorry to hear that, fire edits for you. Um, some coaches just don't know. Just should not be coaches, but it's okay. Don't listen to them. Her, him, her, whoever they may be. My favorite color? I like turquoise or like a light blue. Trying to find something that's like the right color here. Yeah, I don't know, but turquoise, light blue. Mm-mm-mm. How do I stop being an introvert on the court? I can't be loud. So I would just say you have to kind of be into the game. Like you have to really be engaging with your teammates, and they'll hopefully then hype you up too, as well as just talking about the game. Because if you're engaged talking about the game, yelling about seams here, you have this open, um, you won't really be thinking about kind of the introvert. Like I know some girls that are so quiet off the court, but as soon as they step on the court, they're beasts. So you just got to get really engaged. Have your teammates help to hype you up and all that. Mm, all right. How to ent- I can talk. How do victory insoles help as a libero? They help with like explosiveness. So their whole thing is they return energy whenever you jump, step, whatever. So they kind of help with your explosiveness and moving to balls, as well as sometimes you do gotta have to use your vertical, whether that's a ball over your head or a jump serve. And so they help you with that kind of aspect as well. At what age do you realize you wanted to play in college? It was actually I didn't ever really think about it till, like, I was 15, 16 or so, because I remember, like, we got a thing from NCSA or whatever, and my parents were like, "So, do you want to play in college? Like, are we gonna set this up?" And I kind of immediately was just like, "Yeah." Like, I guess it didn't really take much thought. I hadn't thought about it prior to that necessarily. Do you do makeup before a volleyball game? Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. It kinda just depends how much time I have, what the vibe is, but generally, I do a little bit at least, just because I like to look good, feel good, play good. My favorite thing about being a libero is just, like, the versatility, I feel like, of the position because, obviously, like, you get to defense, serve, receive, out of system, serving, like you kind of get a little bit of all of it. And so also it's just like being that hype man for your for your hitters, telling them what's open. You get to see kind of the whole court. So that kind of automatically makes you a little bit of a leader. And I think that's also what I like about it, as well as just the unexpected nature of it, like unpredictability. Because I mean, you never know what's going to ricochet off of a block. You don't know, like, aside from some reading, you don't know where things are going. So it's just like a lot of reaction, fast paced stuff. So that's why I like Libero. We won't be playing UT in college. They're not in our conference. Unless we play them in the NCAA tournament, we could very well do that. Do you need to be on a top team to be noticed? Mm-mm. I was on Skyline's second team, and it was never really an issue, so you can definitely, just as long as you send out film, as well as sending your court schedule to coaches, you will be all good. What do you do when you ref? Um, Probably I just yap with my teammates, honestly. Like, if I'm at the table, like, doing book or libero tracker or score flip, I just talk to my teammates the whole time. Or if I'm line judging, I just try to stay awake. Um, that and I just usually I, like, really like to watch the game, so it makes the job less of a job, if you will. What's your game day hype song? Ooh. I don't even know. Like, I actually couldn't tell you. I listen to, like, country primarily, so not much of that is really too hype, but it kind of depends. I'm more of a, like, I feel like I'm more of a calm before game person as opposed to a hype before game person. Like, if my team's getting hype, obviously I'll join in. Um, but generally, I like to just kind of have, like, a little quiet moment to just get myself mentally prepared and calm and all that. Are you ever come to NYC? I'll be close when I'm in college, only like 45 minutes to an hour or so away, so not too bad. Why is everyone from Illinois all of a sudden? I don't even know where Illinois is, I'm gonna be honest. So I probably won't be up there for a lesson, unfortunately, but what's your ethnicity? I am white. I get pretty tan, so people always think I'm not, but I am like Italian, Czech, and British, I think, are my big three. Are you the only libero on your team? So this past club season, we sometimes ran dual libero, we sometimes ran just one libero. It kind of just depended. And then as for college, I think we have like five liberos or so on our roster because two of them decided to come back as fifth year seniors. So yeah, I do not know how that's gonna pan out, but it'll be fun no matter. I was once upon a time a hitter or a outside hitter when I was in club. Or I mean, sorry, when I my 11th year of club. So my first year of club, I started out as an outside, and then I transitioned that year to libero, and then I played middle school outside, but that wasn't too stressful. Is 5'9" a good height for a middle? It just depends how old you are and how much you're growing, really. But yeah, as long as you're fast, have a vertical, you can definitely make it work. And even so, like, I know some middles that are, like, going D1 and they're pretty, like, I mean, short for a middle, if you will, like 5'10", 11. So if you got a couple more inches in you, you can definitely do it. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm. I will definitely not be anywhere near Minnesota, unfortunately, for a lesson. Uh, um, what should I focus on if I play both setter and libero? So obviously for both of those, you're gonna need defense. So I would focus a lot on defense as well as just like speed. And obviously, if you're gonna be libero, you need to work on serve receive as well. Um, and then setting, but at least you have out of system down already as a libero if you're also a setter. I'm gonna be playing D1 at Fairfield next or in a month. Whew. I've got so used to saying next year now, it's literally like here. Do you give private lessons? Yes, I do. I work out of the Dallas area, like North Dallas especially, so just fill out my form on delaneymoon.com/ look at my availability there, and you can sign up. If you dolphin dive correctly, it's not supposed to hurt because you're avoiding hitting any of like your bones, whether that's hip bones, knees. Although you do kind of hit your elbows, that is the one thing. That's why you need padded elbow sleeves. But ideally, you want to be right here instead of on the bone. But it can't always be perfect, but it shouldn't really hurt. What made you like volleyball? Hmm. I think I just like the fast-paced nature of it, as well as like club is so much fun. I always loved the travel tournaments and all that. So I think just the kind of the fast-pacedness of volleyball, as well as like each play is different. Like literally every time is just there's something a little bit different, always something you can get better at. So, what hair products do you like and use for your hair when you style? I just use hairspray. Like I'm a huge proponent of hairspray. It's the big red can. It's the big sexy hair. I'm telling you, that stuff glues my hair down. Um, and yeah, that is literally all I really ever use. The tallest person on my club team? This past year, she's probably 6'2", or so, 6'3" maybe. But I've played with a 6'5" girl, or good, yeah, 6'5" girl before. So I don't get how you're tall. Like I don't get how people are tall. I like how do you do that? I will never understand that. Yeah, I'll be doing lessons in Fairfield when I'm there. Have you ever had a bad injury? I've had pretty minor injuries. Like I've broken these four fingers. Oh, stags up. Looky there. But I've broken, yeah, these four, and then that was all when I was younger, though. Like I don't know. I guess my fingers were just really, really fragile when I was younger. And then my left knee has always been kind of problematic for me. I hyperextended it when I was 10 or 11, and it's really just kind of never been the same since. I've hyperextended it a few times since, and yeah, just a lot of overuse on it, but it's never really taken me out of volleyball. So, where's Fairfield? It's in Connecticut. I like this question. How tall are your parents? My dad is like 6'1", and then my mom is 5 foot. So I definitely got my mom's genes there. Do you like volleyball? I mean, I am going to college for it, so I think we gotta say yes. Mm, should start sending film to colleges probably when you're 16 or so, I'd say is a good age. Least favorite thing about volleyball? Hmm, this is a good question. I don't know that I've ever thought of this. It's probably just how stressful it is, like, on my body. Partially my fault for throwing myself around all the time, but, um, just how stressful it is on my knee, and my shoulder. That is another injury I've had that was pretty bad. This shoulder, I landed on it a few times, like, extended like that, and it was not having it. I almost had to get surgery on that, but it ended up being alright. Can't wait for the clinic. I'm so excited to see you there, okay? Least favorite thing this about volleyball is ankle socks. That sucks. Have you torn your ACL before? Thank the Lord, no. Knocking on wood that it stays that way. Hair gel, what hair gel do I use? I actually don't use hair gel. I just use hairspray and literally plaster it down. I have met Mary. She's super, super sweet. But yeah, we live pretty far, so we played each other once in a tournament, and that's the only time I've ever really seen her. But we talk, and all over text, so the worst injury I've witnessed? Oh my gosh, this is forever engraved in my head. It was so bad. This girl at a tournament, she, like I don't even know what exactly happened, but she landed wrong, she's a middle, landed wrong from a jump, and, like, her kneecap was, like, on the side of her knee. It was so bad. I don't even wanna go into the details of that. Um, mm, mm, mm. Any tips for diving? I flop like a fish. Oh, on sand. Oh, I'm used to playing sand. Okay, so the difference between sand diving and indoor diving is that in indoor you can like really push forward, whereas in sand you'll get like a mouthful and everything full of sand. So you can really push forward on that last step and kind of get some distance on your dive, and that'll help you out with the flopping. Do victory insoles really work? I believe that they do. I've actually worn them for like so many years. But I really like them. They're good for returning energy, fast push off stuff as well as jumping. Whoa. The funnest team I've ever played. Ooh, that's I would just say like this past season, whenever I got to play Skyline and Mad Frog, those were like two of my favorite games because those are clubs I used to play for. So I like knew a lot of the girls and just a little like rivalry match, Did you grow early? Yes, I was tall. Once upon a time, I was tall, and then I kinda just stopped growing around, like, 5th grade probably, so, yeah. Do you ever have your nails done? I actually literally just got them taken off today, but yeah, I do, and it's not ideal, but, like, if I have an event, I'm not just gonna take them off immediately just because of volleyball. Um, if I have a big tournament, I yes, but, I'll take them off, but I don't find it to be that big of an issue as long as once you just adjust to it. Like, at first, it's kinda weird, but then you kind of adjust to it, just the way you have to shape your hands or whatever if they're long. Mm, okay. Any advice for playing with people who have bad attitude, bad sportsmanship? Unfortunately, yes, I do have advice for this. I would just say that you have to just, like, kinda lean on your other teammates for support as well as, maybe confront them if something really bad goes down, just be like, "Hey, like, calm down, like, don't do that." And then if you really need to kind of have coach intervene, just have a little conversation with your coach, and hopefully they can, um, help you out with taming that teammate, if you will. Mm, okay, do you drink energy drinks? Yes, I mean, been trying to get out of the habit of it, but, especially during school season, I would always drink Alani's which is good because Celsius are, like, banned in the NCAA, so I'm glad that I don't I'm not, like, dependent on Celsius. Let's see. What mindset, to go over or to go after every ball, just you have to have the mindset that, like, you can get to the ball, because if you have any doubt in your mind that you're not getting to the ball, you're not getting to the ball. So just you will shock yourself with the things that you can get to if you just stop thinking and go. Like, it's not even a mindset, like, you don't even wanna be thinking, really, you just wanna go. Um and so, yeah, I'd say just kinda shutting off your brain, just reacting, is kind of the best way to go about that, as well as just having that mentality of like, "Hey, anything I can get to, is mine." Like, rock the court, man. Ooh, snacks for a tournament? Okay. So generally if I have like a really big break, or, it's lunchtime or dinner time, I'll bring like a sandwich of some sort, whether that's PB&J or turkey and cheese. And then I usually like to have popcorn. I like my little salty snack. As well as my mom makes these protein balls that are really good. So you can look up recipes for that. And sometimes some fruit. Pretzels, thinking. Anything with protein is great though, but at the same time, you don't wanna get too much protein and explode. Okay, how to victory and soul self as a libero. They help with your, like, push off reaction speed, as well as, like, returning energy so that you can kinda get that good aggressive, steps towards the ball, as well as sometimes you do have to jump up high for balls, and jump serving, and they also, they have a lot of research showing that they reduce injury as well, so that's always a good thing. Is your hair natural or highlights? It is definitely highlights. As you can see, they're very grown out down to, like, here, but, I'm actually getting them retouched right before college, so how do you balance schoolwork and volleyball? Just working whenever you can, like, literally schoolwork whenever you get a chance. So if that's, like, say you're in a class and you've run out of things to do in that class, just go ahead, start on your homework. And then if you have, like, car time or anything, um, just work literally whatever random downtime you have, so that you can just get a head start on stuff and not be too stressed out last second. Tryout tips, I'm gonna have to direct you to my YouTube, video that has some great tips, more than I could probably tell you right now. Have you ever broken a bone? These 4 fingers right here, but that is it. Dorm or off campus? I'm gonna be in a dorm for the first 2 or 3 years, and then yeah, and then, like, junior year, I believe you can live, like, off campus. And then senior year, actually, at Fairfield, this is one of, like, the things I'm most excited for. We get to rent beach houses, to stay in senior year. What's your least favorite play? I'm assuming, like, you mean kinda the thing that I, like, struggle with, in terms of digging or passing. I would just say in passing, always the deep balls. Those are always the toughest. As much as you can learn to open up whatever, like, it's still kind of hard to track sometimes. Yeah, so as much as you work on it, those things are still always not fun, as well as like cut shots, like kind of really sharp cut shots. I'd say probably the hardest thing as a left back libero. That's from the outside. I mean, like, straight cross court right into that T in the 10-foot line and end line. What do you want to study for your career? So I'm gonna be studying communications, and I'm not quite sure what I wanna do with that quite yet. It might be sports journalism, it might be, um yeah, no, I don't know. Marketing, something along those lines, but we will just kinda see where the tide takes me, because communications is really broad, so I can kinda go wherever I want with it. Coaches' thoughts on your YouTube or social media, I guess? My coaches have never really had a problem with it, like, cause I just post, like, friendly content, like, it's not so it's not really ever been an issue, and sometimes, like, my club coaches usually think it's so fun, and it's, like, promoting the club and, like, all that too, which is good. As long as the only thing I didn't post, like, full game film all of season because, we didn't want people scouting off of that, so that was, like, the only kind of restriction I had, and that was just me, like, because I knew, that no one ever really necessarily told me that, but okay. Which clubs do you recommend in Texas? I liked Skyline, Arte. Mm, those were my 2 favorites, Skyline and Arte. I don't really know too much about, like, the South Texas, Central Texas clubs, but, all my gear and, like, shoes and stuff are linked on my website, delaneymoon.com, so check them out there because I couldn't tell you the names of them off the top of my head. How can you tell if a team is gonna be hard to beat? Generally, I scout teams in advance, like, if I know we're gonna play someone, whether that's in a club tournament or just a school game, like, I'll try to scout in advance, like, kinda see, who they have, watch some film if I can find it, and then usually you can tell from just their warm-ups too. But then again, sometimes they're deceiving because even if they're bouncing 10-foot line in warm-ups, if they can't pass or work around a block, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm on your TikTok live. Are you on both lives? That's kinda crazy. That's commitment. I don't know that I've ever played Club Sav. Where are they from? I played for Arte this past year. I already graduated high school. Oh, please. Okay, I almost just swiped out of TikTok. I graduated high school this May, so I'm going to college in a month. You're diving on your wrist. I used to have this problem all the time. I don't really know what even fixed it necessarily. I just say like keeping your wrist kind of up and then focusing on landing forearm. So don't go down too early. And that should help you out. But yeah, because I remember I used to get all these bruises and scrapes and all like floor burns all over my wrist, but not anymore. I also have sleeves though, so that probably also helps. Arm sleeves. Any tips for reading hitters and not hesitating in left back as a libero? When it comes to reading, you want to look at like their first step of the hitter, so kind of what direction they're approaching, as well as like their shoulders, how far they're closing on their swing. It's kind of like a hard but like last minute thing you want to look at, and then elbows. Elbows are the biggest thing in my opinion. So if they're down, they're going to tip, roll shot, whatever. If they're up like this, it's going to be a tip, loaded all the way, be ready for that swing. So, and then not hesitating. It's just like having that mentality of like, I can get to everything. Not even thinking when you're going for something, because if you're thinking that's a mental block, it's also restricting kind of your movement. So just go, like literally, you see ball, you get ball. That is your whole mentality as a libero. I much prefer left back. 'Cause I like to out a system set, and so being in left back allows me to do that, so that's part of why I like it, that and middle backs, like middle backs work hard, like, I'm telling you, it's a lot of side to side to side to side, which is fun sometimes, but at the same time also, the other thing about middle back is that sometimes you get your dig stolen, and I don't appreciate that, like, I'll be so there on a dig, and then, setter or left back will just reach out and dig it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, I just put my whole effort into that, but, yeah, that's the other thing about middle back I don't like. Hey, Nina. Favorite jump serve? I like to jump float just because it's a lot harder to pass in my opinion, but yeah. Sometimes jump topspin is so fun though, because like, it just looks cooler. Um, even if it's not as effective or consistent sometimes, it's honestly so fun, especially if, like, you're way up and you can just go for it just because you want to. I've played AJV, Austin Juniors, probably a few times. I mean, I couldn't necessarily remember the games, but I definitely have played them a few times. Um, I don't really I'm not gonna be traveling necessarily with clinics or privates, but I will be in Connecticut starting, in a month from now, and so I'll be offering privates when I'm there for college, and, I mean, any Colorado girls hit me up, I'll literally be there end of this month, um, so yeah, if you're up near Creede, Colorado, let me know, and I will see if we can get a court. OMG, Texans do have an accent. I'm actually so scared that I'm gonna get, like, flamed for that when I'm in Connecticut for college. I was literally just in Colorado. No! It's alright. Mm-mm. Exercises that increase your speed or agility? You can do, like, speed ladders and stuff. I hardly ever did that outside of, like, camps and whatever that we do that, but I do find myself literally, like, cutting around the furniture at the house, just, like, back and forth, and then just, like, working on, like, speedy feet, but I also found that weightlifting does actually help with my speed just because my muscles are more engaged and stronger, can, push off easier. Dream college, I probably would have gone to Oklahoma, if it weren't for volleyball, but yeah. What team were you on freshman year? I was on JV technically, but they pulled me up to varsity, during district, so I kinda played both, but I didn't play too much on varsity, just a few times, so I was kind of a floater, if you will. How did victory help you as a libero? It's, like, about kinda your push off, like, speed, getting to balls because they return your energy as well as sometimes you do have to reach up for balls, whether that's, like, jumping up for a high ball or serving, jump serving, and then they also are proven to help reduce injury, which obviously is very, very helpful. Good vertical. So you want to work on both weights and explosiveness. So you can work on kind of like weightlifting, like, big muscle groups, squats for quads, hamstring curls for hammies, anything glutes. Those will all help you kind of with vertical, as well as the explosiveness side of things. You can do like jump squats, jump lunges, with weights even is better, as well as kind of box jumps, jumping off of a box, down, back up. Any of that will help with your vertical. Mm-mm. I would say start reaching out to colleges when you're, like, 16, so right before kinda 17's year, few months before June 15th is when I think I started. Uh, what should you expect from open gyms? Usually open gyms are just a lot of playing, like, you'll literally just do, like, queens and 6 on 6, and usually that's all open gym really is. Are Jordans good for outsides? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are great shoes. Do you know how to edit a YouTube vid into highlights? You probably either have to, like, screen record off of the YouTube, or if you can, like, save the whole YouTube video, I guess, and then just use clips from it. You can use plenty of different, like, software for that. Like, I use CapCut on my phone, for most of my editing stuff, but I don't have any workouts posted just because, it literally changes, like, all the time. I posted a video a long time ago of my leg day on TikTok, so if you wanna go try to find that, you can. But right now I'm doing my college workouts, so I can't really film, like, the workouts that I would normally do on my own, but, um, I won't be traveling for clinics or, lessons or anything, unless you happen to be near Colorado, or, Connecticut. Then I will be up there soon. I've always found that basketball shoes are better than volleyball shoes. I don't know why volleyball shoes are always so terrible, but I've always loved basketball shoes as a, volleyball player. LeBrons or Jordans? Ooh, I've actually had both. I wanna say one of my favorite shoes were the LeBrons, or sorry, the Jordans, I think. I honestly don't remember, but I'm pretty sure that was my favorite pair of shoes was the Jordans, but I did love my LeBrons too. They just weren't as, like, supportive, I feel like. That was the only thing. Okay, y'all are all asking what my favorite shoe were, and I actually can't remember. I don't know if I just okay, am I still on YouTube? Yeah. I'm literally on my website right now trying to find what these shoes were called because everyone's asking. I think they got discontinued. Oh, yeah, no, I took them off my website because they got discontinued, but, um, I wanna say they were Jordans, but it's alright. Um, okay, everyone's asking about reaction time now, so you can do plenty of different drills, like, I like to do stuff kind of against the wall, so either I can serve at the wall or someone behind me, like, I'm facing the wall, someone behind me can serve, and that kinda just helps with you stand 15 or so feet off the wall, bounces off the wall, you just gotta react to it fast. I think that's a good drill for reaction time, as well as just, like, someone standing right in front of you, the ball in hand, whether it's a volleyball or just a little ball, whatever. They toss it to you, and you just gotta quick, 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 like, find it, yeah, so I think those are good reaction time drills. I'm always on the ground as a libero. That's how I was once upon a time, it was bad. I'm telling you, it was so bad. I would just say, like, using, like, smaller steps instead of big kinda lunges to get to the ball is a good way to try to run through balls, all that. As well as reading. Once you get good at reading, that will 100% help you stay off the floor. Um, Good, like, pregame routine? I just like to kinda spend time with my teammates, talk about, the game. If you can scout the other team, that's always great. I literally love stalking other teams. And so I usually do that before games, and then I like to take, like, kind of a moment to myself, just quiet, whatever. Sometimes I'll have music in if, if there's not, like, a quiet spot, even if it's just a few seconds or a couple minutes, like, just kinda get myself in that right calm headspace. What do you eat before games? It really depends. I usually like a good sandwich, just something with protein, so like a turkey and cheese or something, and then yeah, I don't like something too filling, because then it kinda bogs me down, but I like myself a good sandwich usually. Do you pin people at tournaments? I've actually never done that, but I wish I had now because it's such a cute little trend, but I never, like I don't know, I never had, like, teammates that did it, I never did, so it's such a cute thing, though, I've actually gotten pinned a couple times. Do the baby steps help with reactions? When I was talking about baby steps earlier, I actually meant, like, on short balls, just, like, when you're running up to it, using baby steps, but I do know what you're talking about. I call them my little tippy tap steps because I can't think of a better name for them. But it's basically just like pitter patter with your feet. And I actually do think that that helps with my reaction time, or at least not even necessarily reaction time, but it does help me like get my muscles moving so that I can just push off whatever direction I need to. It's like a similar concept to a split step, but I like it for defense. Good exercises alone with a ball, literally just passing to yourself, passing to yourself, passing to yourself. Um, or setting to yourself, and then also, like, if you have a good wall, like, good tall wall that you can just hit up against and then, stand 15 or so feet off of it, use your angles, just work on your reaction time, angles, and all that. My school colors are red, white, and black. I guess black is kind of the secondary, and then white's, like, the 3rd, but tips for college camp? I actually only went to, like, 1 or 2 college camps, but I would just say, like, be really aggressive, be outgoing, like, talk to everyone, all the girls on the court with you, talk to the coaches, just be engaging because the coaches will see that, and then that'll also, like, kinda help you get, I guess, more comfortable, acclimated, and just, like, be aggressive, don't be afraid to make mistakes. They'd rather see you go for a ball, be aggressive, than just be afraid of making mistakes. I've been a libero since 11's year, so quite a while. How to overcome nervousness and serve receive? I sometimes will literally sit there and just be like, "Delaney, you don't care about this. Like, whatever. Whatever happens, happens." Like, literally just convince myself that I don't care. And that kind of helps me like loosen up. That and just like talking during serve receive too. So that you don't even have time to think about it. Just being like, seems here, you got this, 3 hitters, whatever. And that will kind of help you not be thinking too much. I joined club volleyball when I was 11, but really there's no wrong age to start. My mom asked if you use any purple shampoos. Yeah, I do occasionally. I could not tell you what it's called though. I don't use it every day, but I do some. Uh, how to know if you're meant to be a libero? For me, I had no choice because I was too short to do anything else. But I mean, honestly, like if that's just what you enjoy, like go for it. Just kinda do what you find to be good on your body. Well, obviously, libero is not great on your body usually, but, whatever you find, like, your capability level, to be, as well as just wherever you're comfortable, you enjoy, and that will be what you're able to kinda stick with, so why Fairfield? Um, so I actually didn't really know about Fairfield until they texted me after seeing me at a tournament. Um, and I just had a conversation with the coaches. They had great, like, really like-minded mentality to me. And so then I went on a visit and I just everyone I met there was so nice. Got to stay with one of the girls on the team. So kind of got a little taste of the college life there for a day or two. And so just everyone was super sweet and campus is actually gorgeous. Like it's a little beach town right on the beach and it's kind of like perfect size for me, not too big, not too small. It's also a Christian college, which is, that's I've always been at a Christian school, so I think having that foundation is really important to me. So yeah, that is just a great program volleyball wise. We 90% of the time have been making it to the NCAA tournament, which is amazing. So have you ever thought about joining Mary Beating's team? Well, she lives in Utah and I live in Texas, so it's not particularly an option, but I think that'd be so fun though if we were on the same team. I've actually never been to AAU, so I could not tell you which I liked better. But obviously AAU being in Florida is a great perk, whereas USAV is usually in the most like random places. Any tips as a short setter? I'd just say like being really fast, trying to get to the ball before, um, yeah, just beat the ball there with your feet so that you can get planted and really push, as well as just like beating it up to the net if it's a tight pass, so you can get up there and snag it back. Mm, let's see. What number would you want on volleyball? My favorite number is 1, in terms of jersey numbers. Couldn't even tell you why. It's just, like, top of the roster, it's just simple. Um, I feel like it's a libero number, like, I really do feel like it's a libero number. I don't know why, it just feels like it. Um, and then, yeah, but I'm gonna be 5 in college. Sorry. I'm gonna be 5 in college, and that was actually my high school number as well. And that was literally just because it was the jersey that was the right size for me. But I do like 5. I just don't really have a reason. What's your major? Communications. Do you wanna coach when you're out of college? I don't know yet. It kinda depends what career I end up in because 'cause I'm not exactly sure what I wanna do yet, but I would love to at least coach on the side, if nothing else. What made you wanna be a libero? I was too short for anything else. That's your simple answer. But I do still love it, even though I was kinda forced into it. Um, when did you start getting recruited? So, coaches can't talk to you until you're, June 15th going into your junior year. So, that's, I guess, when I started getting recruited, but, I did start sending some emails and film and stuff to coaches a few months before that. My college is in Connecticut. Okay, we're back to the tryout tips question. There is a video posted on my YouTube that has some great tryout tips that will be better than anything I'll tell you right now. So, favorite game day hairstyle? Um, It's probably like, I always have to have a braid. I'm telling you, I always have to have a braid, no matter what. So, my favorite for, like, big game days, I did this for senior night, all that, is, like, 2 Dutch braids right here into a ponytail, that's probably my favorite. Another one of my favorites is dragon braid, which is but the thing is it takes so long and it's, like, super tedious, so I don't get to do it that often, but it looks really cool and I can do it right. 13 is not too late to play club, not at all. I don't really have any eating restrictions right now because of volleyball. I have a feeling I probably will get some in college, um, but I haven't really had a coach that was too finicky about it. Do you miss playing for Skyline or Mad Frog? I miss Skyline. I will say, just because I had some of my probably best years of club there. Specifically 16s was probably my favorite year of club. So I do kind of miss that team, but yes, I will be playing D1 this year. Do you think Nebraska should have won? Hmm. I don't know, cause I know that Nebraska's a great team, and I probably would have preferred them to win if I'm being honest, but I don't really know that they should have or shouldn't have just because they were struggling passing that game. Have you played other sports? Yeah, I used to play softball. Like, softball was my biggest second sport, and then I did taekwondo too for a long time. I was a third-degree black belt in that, so that was probably actually my second sport there, but, yeah, I played soccer when I was little. That was, like, too much running, and my allergies were terrible, so I quit that, but, yeah. Now everyone's mad because 'cause they're Texas all day. Sorry, guys. Um Were you Oh, wow, I follow you from Algeria? That's insane. Okay, welcome. Were you on varsity freshman year? I was technically JV, but they pulled me up to varsity, so I played both, during what's it called? District and, playoffs. Are you scared to go out of state? Because 'Cause I'm moving from Texas to Maryland, and I'm terrified. That's relatable because 'cause I'm moving from Texas to, Connecticut. I just completely zoned out, and it's really scary, but, I know kinda being in, the college that I'm gonna be at, it's really, like, a good community, and so I'm not too scared because of that. Obviously, I am a little bit, but I know that I'll be surrounded by good people at least, so how do you have coaches show up at your court? You can email them like your court schedule in advance, and so hopefully they will show up from that. But other than that, sometimes they'll just literally walk by and then hang around. Okay, I do have a boyfriend, yes. Since I'm being spammed that question. Um, Hi Danielle. Uh, 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 uh. Any tips for saving a shanked ball? So usually on serve receive and defense really, but especially serve receive, I'll try to kind of shadow whoever's passing. Um, and so that way I'm like kind of right behind them. So if they shank off, like shank the ball, I'm kind of ready to move to wherever that is, or it goes. And so yeah, it's just big chase down. Just try to get as much force as you can, aiming it back into the court. Chloe, I wouldn't say I mean, don't let those girls stop you from playing. Like, if you wanna play volleyball, play volleyball. They can get over themselves, in my opinion. I'm 18. Alright, privates with Coach Mike. I love Coach Mike. He's a great coach, honestly, and he's very technical too, so, just listen to his advice and apply it, and it'll be great. Okay, I need to plug in my computer, hold on. It's dying. Uh, please do please do a clinic in Florida. I keep getting that question, or it's not a question, but I would love to travel out to Florida. I don't even know if y'all can hear me right now. I would love to travel out to Florida, but, considering I'm going into college now, it's a little bit iffy. We'll see. Do a clinic in Colorado, I'd pay all the money. I'm actually gonna be up there, um, end of this month, so if you're anywhere near Creede, Colorado, let me know, and we can probably try to set something up. Favorite game of the season? Ooh, it's probably when we played Skyline, 2nd team, just because that was, like, my old team, and I knew a lot of the girls, and it was a really, really tense match, and it was at a qualifier, um, really tight, and we ended up winning it, but it was crazy. Um, let's see. Okay, now everyone's just spamming their states. Unfortunately, guys, I'm not gonna be able to travel that much when I'm in college and all that. Why'd you switch clubs? My experience, the previous season, my 17th season, was not fantastic at that club, so I ended up switching over because 'cause I've actually always, like, really liked the RT team, like, they've always been really good, but one of my best friends was the libero there, so I never really wanted to come over because um, we'd be the same position, and, yeah, I didn't wanna be in that position with her, so just because 'cause we'd have to compete for it, and that sucks. We did make it to nationals. We ended up getting, like, 13th or something because we lost our crossover to get to gold, and it was a mess because, our setter broke her finger the first day, so we had to run, like, a 5-1, so have our other setter play all the way around, and it was a lot on her, especially because she's only, like, 5'4", so we were kinda struggling on the block and all that, so we did really well considering. Mm. How to avoid shanking? I would just say, like, forming your angles early is kinda your biggest thing, so you're not still, like, swinging out, at the last second, and then because the less movement, the better when it comes to passing. How do I overcome anxiety of big crowds and making mistakes? So, as for mistakes, I just say to have a reset, whether that's a snap, clap, whatever, kinda just that physical reminder to move on, to the next play. Um, Big crowds, like, honestly, you just have to learn to tune it out, like, it sounds really hard, but honestly, it came pretty naturally to me, I guess just with time working with it. Um, so, yeah, it's just you have to focus on the game, always be talking really loud so that if you're talking enough, you won't even be able to hear the crowds doing whatever. Oh, hi, Summer, happy birthday. Could you come to East Texas? I have family out there, but, um, so if I'm ever out there, maybe, but how to deal with rude teammates? you just have to kinda support or lean on your other teammates for support, because hopefully you have at least a few good ones in there, um, and so you just have to ignore, like, you can't let kinda their mentality or I guess, like, rudeness get to you. You just gotta focus on yourself, if it ends up being a big problem, you can confront them, like, with other teammates, or even just, like, politely just be like, "Hey, like, chill." And if it's really an issue, you can even get coach to, intervene a little bit, but I live in Plano, in the Dallas area. Any tips on serving at 5 foot? I would say if you can get a good jump serve down, that definitely helps because you can kinda get a higher attack angle, and so, yeah, it's just using your full, like, approach, to get in or to jump into the ball and contacting at your absolute, like, highest point, is really important so you can get kinda that downward angle on it. Any clinics in Oregon? Wow. That is far. Um, Imma have to say no to that one probably, but sorry. Um, hey, new subscriber, said someone. Why do you know Eve? You're scaring me. Why do you know my boyfriend's name? Okay. Yes, that is him, though. Um, have you ever had a horrible game? Oh, yeah, oh, whoops. Okay, we're still here. Yeah, no, that happens. I mean, everyone has off days. Like it's inevitable. Everyone has off games, whatever. Um, so you just got to kind of focus on like supporting your teammates so that you can kind of bring your own spirits up, whatever, and then that'll help you end up playing better. And then, like I said earlier about like the whole having kind of a reset, snap, clap, whatever you need to do to move on from mistakes, that will definitely help you as well. Do you play the whole game or switch out? So this past season, we ran 2 liberos sometimes, 1 libero once, so it kinda depends, but yeah. I have heard of Luna Volleyball Academy. In fact, I actually did some, lessons with Carlos, who runs that place, and he's great. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I have in fact heard of T Street. I wanna say they're from Florida, is that right? I could be so wrong, but how should I wear my knee pads? I like to wear them actually on my knees. I know a lot of people wear them kinda below. Sometimes mine will, like, ride down a little bit after a while of playing, but I generally start them actually, like, on my knees. Oh, Cali, okay. I knew it was one of the coastal, states. Are you scared to go to Connecticut? Yes, I am definitely scared, just because it's so far from home and all that, but it's gonna be a big adjustment, but I'm also still very excited. Um I think it'll be a great experience even though it is a bit scary right now, just kinda thinking about it, but it'll be good. How to gain confidence while playing with people who put you down? Hopefully you have at least, like, 1 or 2 good teammates or coaches, whatever, that will kinda support you, but if your teammates are being just really terrible, you can have coach kinda intervene for you, just have a talk with them, but generally, it's just about kinda knowing your own worth, just positive self-talk as well as just not listen like, you don't have to listen to people who are just putting you down just because they want to. Like, you really it's just having that tough mentality of just not listening to them because 'cause they're just not worth your time or energy if they're gonna be like that. And you just gotta be supportive of them because hopefully then they'll realize and kinda reciprocate, but, yeah, all you can do is be the best version of yourself. Do I play beach? No, I've actually never played beach, like, competitively, um, but I do play with my friends sometimes, and it is really fun, but I'm not really that good at it just because, like or at least when I did play one, like, two-on-two tournament, it was pretty bad because I didn't know how to, like, run the rotations and nor did my teammate, so Have you ever heard of Skyline? Yes, I played there for 3 years, so Emma Halter's a great libero. Yeah, no, she's a great libero. No, me and Grace aren't gonna be really traveling. She just happened to be coming in town, and so we went ahead and threw something together while she was here, but can you still pursue a career while doing one? Absolutely. I mean, you're there as a student athlete, so, obviously, volleyball is gonna be time consuming, but, you're still getting that degree, you're still working on, life skills and all that, getting your education in, so it should not be, um, detrimental to your career. No, I'm gonna be in Connecticut for college, not Texas. Mm-mm. Tryout tips are posted on this YouTube, so go ahead and just check that out after the live. Oh, I just okay, sorry. I was, like, looking at this comment, I didn't realize what you meant. Yes, it's $75 for, a 3-hour session with, Grace and I at our clinic, so not too bad if you ask me. All my gear, including my arm sleeves and all that, are linked on my website, delaneymoon.com, so just go ahead and check them out there. Oh, Sophia, you're coming to the clinic. Super excited to see you there. I don't know whoever this Christy girl is. Sorry. I'm a libero. All right. I know 75 for 3 hours is a deal if you ask me. Oh, my shoulder just popped. That was weird. Um, oh, wait, from your website is where my found my Katie trays. Those were the ones that I was trying to remember the name of earlier. I adored those shoes. Um, mm, 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 mm. I won't be playing clubs, or club this next season because 'cause I'll be in college, but generally it starts in, like, December. $100 to rent a court is insane. The most I've heard is, like, 55. Is there room for me in what? I'm a little bit confused. I feel like I missed another comment somewhere. Um, if you're talking about, like, a clinic or lessons, it's, like, all the signups and stuff are on my website, so just check in there, and there should be slots for either of those open, so Yes, I will be playing D1, which is terrifying but exciting. You don't necessarily need arm sleeves to dive, but I would say that they're definitely helpful just so that you can slide instead of, like, getting caught. That and it just kinda makes this, landing softer. Yeah, in the clinic, there are still spots, some, I think. It's kinda this yeah, there should be still spots. We're still working some things around. I think we're gonna open up or we did open up, another session for 6th through 8th grade because that was our biggest group, so, yeah, we opened up another session for that because there was a wait list, so there should still be spots now, if that's your age group. I don't know how old you are. Oh, that sucks, August. I'm sorry about your wrist. When are you moving into college? Literally a month from today, so, woo. I started playing when I was 7. Are the victory insoles worth the price? I really do think so. I've had mine for so long, and I think that they help out, like, a lot with my push off as well as vertical, speed, all that stuff, and they help, prevent injuries. So, use my code, on my website if you are interested in those, and you can get a discount. Why do volleyball players put their knee pads below their knees? Some people think it looks better. I actually do think it kinda looks better, but, for me as a libero, since I'm on the floor a lot, I wear mine on my knees. They do kinda ride down too, that's, like, the other thing. So sometimes people ask why I wear mine below my knees, and I'm just like, "Well, I've just been playing, and they literally just ride down." But, that and, like, if you dive it just kinda depends on how you dive too, because each person kinda dives differently. If you dive more on the top of your knee, you wanna pull them up higher, but if you dive kinda below, like, do shin digs, then it's fine to wear them below. If I wasn't a libero, I would 100% be an outside. I'm telling y'all, I would kill it as an outside. My arm swing is actually lethal, but, like, I'm just not tall enough. Are you not allowed to wear elbow pads in college? Yeah, we are. It's not an issue. As far as I'm aware, better not be an issue because 'cause I'm screwed if it is. I do, in fact, love the Lord Addison. Going to Catholic college, so that'll be good. I don't think 15 is too old to start. Yeah, no, I know some people who started late, and even if, like, you don't end up going to college for it, like, it's still just fun to play. So, no shame in starting late. I played for Arte my this past year of club. I'm gonna be playing at, Fairfield in Connecticut this year. Yeah, so Maddie with the clinic, I'm assuming for signing you mean like signature stuff or autograph stuff. We're actually gonna have like where oh no, it's not I don't know where one is, but we're gonna have like mini balls that we'll sign and then I guess we can sign whatever else if you want to bring something. Mary just decommitted. She's not going D1. I'm sure she'll get committed to a great school. We don't know why, or I don't at least know why she decommitted. I haven't talked to her about it, but I didn't really want to pry, but I'm sure she will find another great school. I started playing when I was 7. Do you want to be a coach? Well, I'm coaching right now, but there's just, like, lessons and clinics and stuff. I don't know that I'm gonna be, like, a full-time coach, after college, but I would like to at least do it kinda on the side, if nothing else. I'm not quite sure where my career is gonna take me yet, so why do most high schools not focus on training liberos? I don't know. I'm I yes, I agree with that, actually, I've seen that as a trend as well, and I think, like, usually, they'll work a lot on serve receive because that's a skill kinda everyone needs, but, yeah, I mean, I guess they just feel like the hitters are more important and defense can just figure it out. I don't really know. Like I said, I've tryout tips as well as beginner libero tips posted on the YouTube, so you can check that out there. Mm. Would you ever do a clinic with Mary? Well, yeah, if the opportunity presented itself, like if she was in town or if I was going near her, absolutely. It was just Grace happened to be coming in town, and so we just kinda I was like, "Hey, you wanna do a clinic or something?" She was like, "Of course." So that's just kinda how that happened. It wasn't even, like, necessarily planned, so I think actually okay, this is top secret information, but I think Mary is actually gonna be in town during our clinic, but she's gonna be busy with stuff, so she might try to pop by our clinic at some point. But we don't know when, so please don't ask. But if you get lucky enough, if you're at the clinic, she might pop by. I started the recruiting process, so as in like, um, I started sending film and stuff to coaches at like 16s, I think. And so then they started reaching out to me June 15th before junior year because that's like the date that they can do that. But hi, Evelyn. I only left Skyline because I, like, followed another coach, or my previous coach from Skyline to another club, that and I just wasn't interested in playing, for the coach that was, um, yeah, at Skyline, so I think it's good for liberos to be middle back generally, or sorry, I mean left back, because it's easier to set, like, out a system from left back than middle back, but it just also depends what team you're playing and, where, um, each player really thrives, so is there room in the 9th to 12th AM and PM? I actually have, like, no access to, the sign up for any of the clinics, so just go ahead, sign up for it, worst case scenario, you'll be on the wait list, but I have a feeling that there will be some, like, spots opening up even if there aren't right now, but I'm pretty sure there are spots, though. Maybe I think just a couple, though. But like I said, I literally don't have access to it, so I don't know. Have you met Goggles? I've never met Goggles. She seems so cool, like, honestly, in, like, all those, like, aura, like, TikToks, whatever, like, she should 100% be the first one, like, she is insane. I'm so s like, it's so unfortunate that she tore her ACL, though. But she is good. The biggest injury I've had is probably just my knee. It's been kinda messed up since, like, I was probably 10, 11, because I hyperextended it back then, and I've just kinda tweaked it a few times since. It's never really quite been the same. So either that or my shoulder, because I landed a few times 17's year on my shoulder, like, extended out like that, and it, like, stretched out some, like, tendons and ligaments and stuff in here, so, that wasn't great, but I almost had to get surgery on that one, but it only took me out for a couple weeks, so Ooh, my favorite tournament location? I'm gonna have to go with Orlando. I went there for Sunshine Qualifier a couple times, and it's super fun. How to tell if your hitters are going line, short, deep. Um, so reading, the first thing you wanna kinda look at is their approach. So, if they're approaching kinda straight into the court versus, at an angle, that's kinda your first sign as to where they're going, and then, their shoulders also, how far they close, from their open close, and then, also their elbows. I feel like elbows are the biggest one because if it's down like here, it's gonna be tip roll shot, something like that. Really high extended, it's gonna be a tip, or if it's back loaded, it'll be a swing. So that's in a nutshell the art of reading. Why did you choose volleyball as your sport? I played a lot of sports when I was younger. Soccer was one I didn't stick with at all. Softball was one I stuck with through middle school, and then taekwondo as well. I was a third degree black belt in taekwondo. That was probably like my second favorite. Um, but yeah, I guess volleyball is just kind of the one that stuck with me after all that. Just because how high fast paced it is. Loved like travel tournaments, meeting new people, and just everything about it. Honestly. Mm, Why did you not stick with soccer? First of all, my allergies were too bad, and second of all, I don't know, it was just a lot of running, and just, like, not enough going on for me, I guess, like, I don't know. I just like the fast pace of volleyball, I think that's what it is. Passing a ball with one arm tips. So obviously, one arm is kind of an emergency move if it's coming either fast or far. So you one of the biggest things, and geez, I'm trying to display this, but it's kind of hard. So you want to, instead of being like this, where the ball's like bouncing here, you want to be open because there's like more surface area here, and you just have like more control. You can like hook it up, pop it, whatever you kind of need to do, get some momentum on it. How can you tell if someone's meant to be a libero? I feel like it's a mentality. Like it really is a mentality of just being super aggressive, being super loud. Um, so yeah, I feel like libero is a very mental position, and it's also just about usually height is kind of the deciding factor. Like I was kind of forced to be a libero, but of course I ended up liking it, so worked out. But can I get a private with you? Of course, just I'll direct you to DelaneyMoon.com and you can fill out my form and look at my availability on there. So I would love to work with you. If the ball hit the net, you were trying to pop it out. How would you angle it to pop it? You kind of have to like face the net or either face like sideways along the net or face straight into the net, and then you got to wait on it to come down. If it bounces high off the net, sometimes you have to like get up on there, but if it's anywhere middle to low on the net, you have to get right below the net super low and then just like wait on it to get out and then hook it back as hard as you can. That's the farthest you traveled for volleyball? Probably Seattle. I think that was probably our furthest one. I think I have played 501, but I couldn't necessarily recall the game. I live in Texas, and I've been playing volleyball since I was 7. I don't know that I've ever tried the DIY hair ties. I'm so excited for Grey's and Ice Clinic, like, y'all have no idea. Dealing with negative teammates, you just can't listen to it. Like, I'm telling you, you just gotta be a hype man for, like, your other teammates, and so hopefully then they will be nice to you back, kinda reciprocate your energy, but you just can't take anything that they're mean to you about, to heart. You just gotta know your worth, and if it's really bad, you can, like, talk to your coach about it. Hopefully, they can help you out, but what tournament was in Seattle? Ooh, that was so long ago. I think I went there when I was 12, so It was just a qualifier up there. Yes, New Orleans was a fun tournament. I loved that tournament. Have you ever played in a national championship for club? I got close. 12-0, 12-0, I got 3rd at nationals. So not quite, but super close. And then or I just realized I said it was in Seattle. It was in Spokane, Washington, not Seattle. Um, but yeah. My fave kill celebration is a stomp. That's real. I literally like either like drive my leg up or like stomp. There's just no in between. Are braids or slick back better to do with my hair? I personally like braids better, just because I don't really like the slick back look on me, but yeah, it's up to you. Whatever you feel comfortable in. I'm about to start college volleyball. I just graduated high school. Did you get offers from any other colleges? I was talking to other colleges, yes, but yeah, this was just the one that I felt like really like, it was the best offer that, where I got, like, scholarship and, really felt, like, needed there, so yeah. Okay, okay. Why are you still spamming the question? Um, but yeah, I'd been talking to, like, Mizzou and K-State, and some other places. I'm 5'2". I don't know Pinnacle Volleyball Academy, but I will be in Connecticut, in a month, and I guess all the way through college, so, if that's I mean, it's in a neighboring state, so it might be pretty close. Bro, Nina. We were in your dream? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing D1. I've never been to Wisconsin for a tournament, favorite and least favorite thing as a libero? I would just say, like, the unexpectedness of everything, because like, you never know when it's gonna ball's gonna hit off a block, go crazy, someone's gonna shank, like, you just always have to be ready, and that also you get to out of system set, which is really fun, and yeah, just, like, the high-paced, high energy, aspect of it, also just being a leader as a libero, just because you have to communicate a lot, run the back row. But, least favorite is probably just how much of a toll it takes on your body, just throwing yourself around all the time. Madison Skinner is so good. That is all I have to say on that. She's just so good. Passing drills, you can just literally pass to yourself, like up, down, and then you can also like, but can't be lazy with it. Like you have to like work on your form if you're gonna do that for it to be like beneficial. And then you can also just like face a wall, have some either you or someone behind you hit at the wall, and then that helps you work on like just putting your angles out, working on reaction time, all that fun stuff. Can you and Mary collab? I wish I like never get to see her though. 'Cause she's from Utah and I'm from Texas. But I think she will be in Texas, when me and Grace are doing the clinic, so I might get to see her there. She might stop by, but I know she's gonna be busy. What do you keep looking at? Sorry, I'm on YouTube and I said this at the very beginning, I haven't said it since. I'm on YouTube and TikTok live. So, that's why I keep kinda looking back and forth, but 5'5" is definitely not too tall for a libero. Have you reached out to any of your new college teammates? Yeah, I actually met a few of them at a tournament, and they're super sweet, and so we've just kinda been texting a lot about random stuff, but, and then when I went on my official visit, I got to meet a lot of the team, and I actually got to stay with one of them, in their dorm when I was up there. Stretches for sore muscles, girl, I wish I could help. I wish I knew the answers and the secrets to any of that, but really just any stretch should help though, and just staying active, like, keeping your muscles, like, working even if it's not, like, a hard workout. I do think that the victory insoles are definitely worth it just because they help a lot with, like, so many things, whether it's, like, push off and speed or, like, jumping up for high balls, serving, that and just injury protection. There's a lot of research that says they help with that. I'm 5'2". I got my first offer, I wanna say it was, like, not too far after June 15th, yeah, like a couple months after June 15th of when they could start reaching out. It does not hurt when I dolphin dive unless I do it wrong, which still does happen occasionally, but, yeah, it's supposed to not hurt, that's kind of the whole point. Recruiting tips, just sending film, like, reaching out, showing interest in schools, telling them your tournament schedule too so that they can come try to, stop by your court. Yeah, those are kind of the biggest things, just being in constant communication. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I was actually talking to some, Big Ten power schools, whatever, Mizzou and K-State were probably, the biggest schools I talked to. That and OU, but that one wasn't as because they got a coaching change, so that didn't go great, but yeah, you do need to email coaches that you're interested, in terms of college. That's a good way to show interest and kinda just get on their radar. And yes, send them footage, absolutely, that's a big, 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 big thing. I was I was outside once upon a time when I was in, like, middle school. In terms of club, I stopped playing outside when I was 11. 6'3" is probably like, if you're agile enough, like, you can still be a libero. Like, if you can get down there and still, like, get under stuff, um, it might not be quite as easy, but and that and, like, why would you not wanna be a hitter if you're 6'3"? I don't understand. I would love to be a hitter, but I'm 5'2", so but, I mean, you can do it, though, if that's what you wanna do. Okay, I'm getting spammed. What is the number 2 college choice? I don't even know, like, I probably would have gone to OU if it wa Oklahoma, if it wasn't, for volleyball stuff, so okay, yeah, Eric is 6 foot in the USA libero, but he's also a dude, so that's different. For girls, it's, like, a whole different range, like, 6 foot for guys is, like, ridiculously short. Um, mm, mm, mm. Do you know the girl that named the core 4? She may or may not be on the live right now. Mhm. Actually, she might have left. Say hi if you're still here. Oh, yep. I see you. Okay. Vestral that helps you as a libero. I would just say, like, the whole I don't know if you heard what I was saying earlier about hitting against the wall and then passing, but literally just either you stand facing the wall, hit against it, and then just work on your angles and stuff and reaction, or have someone stand behind you and hit it. You should be, like, 15 or so feet off the, wall. That are just, like, literally passing to yourself, as long as you, still use right form. I'm gonna be getting my degree in communications. I don't know who Ale is. No, who is she? Yeah, college volleyball is absolutely gonna be better than high school, without a doubt. My coaches are great, the program's great, it's gonna be good. Although club was awesome, but yeah, definitely better than high school. Um, mm, mm, mm. Tips for tryouts, I have a video posted on my YouTube, so just check that out after the live because 'cause that'll be better than anything I say right now. Have you ever had a coach that didn't believe in you? I was waiting for this question. Yes. Um, not gonna say where they were, whatever, but, basically, this coach, like, wouldn't let me have kind of an opportunity, to play libero a lot, even though, like, I would ask, like, "What can I do to, get a shot?" Whatever, and they just said, "Bring your stats up," and then I did, whatever, my stats were higher than the competition, all that, and then, I asked again, they were just like, "Try harder," and I'm like, I don't know, because me, I personally, I always put 110%, like, there's no and if but, whatever, and so I was like, "I really don't know what you mean by that," like, genuinely, like, I didn't say that, obviously, um, but, that's kinda, like, what I was thinking, I was just like, "This just means, like, it's just an excuse at this point," so and it was just stuff like that on repeat. The coach told me I won't even be playing in college, so hopefully I'll be proving him wrong, but, yeah. Not great, but what's the most annoying thing a ref could call? Probably just, like, a ball that's blatantly out and they just call it in or, like, opposite, you know? When you go to Fairfield, are you gonna be playing libero or DS? I'm signed as a libero, but, I'd be open to play kinda whatever they want. My coach said I have a chance of libero even freshman year, it just kinda depends who's playing well, so we will see. I know there's some great liberos on the team, so we will definitely see, but I'm willing to play kinda whatever there, at least freshman year for sure. Hey, Brooklyn. How am I gonna decorate my dorm? I actually haven't decided. Like, it's kinda bad, but I also don't know who my roommate is yet, which is, like, kind of making it hard to decide, but I kinda wanna go with, like, a light blue, red, and white. I think that's kinda how I'm gonna go, like, Little America-y, but, like, light blue instead of the navy or, like, dark blue. I committed to Fairfield, I wanna say it was, like, middle to end of junior year sometime. Absolutely do recommend arm sleeves for sure, especially if you're a libero. Y'all, I'm giving up. I love her, but she isn't answering. Wait, what's your question? I'm going back. Where are you? Where did your teammates bully you for your channel? No, not really. I mean, like they'll make like jokes about it, but it's not like actually like they think it's fun. I think. hopefully. Um, yeah, no. Like, I definitely have, like, had other people, like, make fun of me for it, but you know what? I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm hopefully inspiring other players, younger players, so I don't really care what other people have to think about it if they're making fun, so. Have your parents gotten kicked out of a game? No. No, my parents are pretty chill. Like, they cheer and all, but they're not obnoxious, so. But I have had other parents that have, like, on my team that have gotten kicked out of games. And also my coach got ejected once, it was really funny. Have I ever gotten a red card? No, I got a yellow card once in, like, the 6th grade championship game, um, but that was I was raging because I tipped into the net, but I literally just, like, slammed the ball, it wasn't even that bad, but that was a long time ago. Pre-game song or playlist? I literally, like I don't have a song necessarily, like, one given song. I usually listen to country, though, just because it's, like, chill. Sometimes, like, if I'm with my team and stuff, I'll listen to other stuff, but, um, yeah. I started playing when I was 7, so I don't know what grade that would be, but, yeah, I was playing club on a travel team at 13. I started club at, 11, so. Have you ever played against a mean team? Oh, for sure. For sure, for sure. It's honestly, like, just fuel to the fire, especially for, like, my club team this past year, like, we played this one team that was just absolutely terrible, just screaming through the net and just it was bad. Staring us down just for no reason, it was rough, but we ended up beating them, and it was a really tense game, but it made it even more fun. My KDs, they're linked on my website, yeah. First impression of Mary? She's just a little, like, ball of energy. Like, she's so fun. Fairfield is in Connecticut. I thought you did judo, though. I did taekwondo, so close, but not quite. Same idea-ish. In middle school, do they rotate in a circle or you rotate people out? It depends. Like, on my school team, I feel like we just kinda actually, we did I wanna say we started doing an actual rotation in, like, 7th grade. But, like, as for club, like, really any age you're in club is gonna be rotations, like, real rotations, not just the circle. It's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you during a volleyball game? Oh gosh, I it's probably just when I was, like, trying to dodge a ball that was going out on serve receive, and I just straight up sprained my ankle while dodging a ball. That was pretty bad. That or, like, whenever I was trying to dodge a ball and it hit me in the face. It's always when I'm dodging a ball. That's, like, when all things go wrong. Is it rare for a 6th grade to be signed to a deal in college at full ride? Absolutely not. You're 6'3", like, that's yeah, that definitely helps you out, actually. I'm 5'2". I know. Okay, what was my favorite travel tournament this season? Ooh, probably New Orleans this season, but of all time, I'd say, Orlando. Why'd you leave Mad Frog for Skyline? I just had a better opportunity there. It was just a better team that year, so. Fave artist? I gotta go with Zach Bryan, probably. Yeah, I believe I've definitely played maps before. Uh, you're seeing Zach next month. I'm so jealous. I've actually seen him once, but I also saw that he's performing on my birthday at in New York, which I don't know when finals are though for college because my birthday is December 18th, so I don't know if we'll be out yet. Otherwise, I'd literally go because it's like I'm right there. Libero's pronounce it. I can't even talk. Libero is how you pronounce it, or Libero. It kind of just depends where you're from and all. Good pregame meal. I like myself a good sandwich usually, like just some protein, but not also too filling. All right, I'm gonna answer like a few more questions, then we're wrapping this up. I started playing when I was 7. Are you in Vegas right now? No, I'm at home in Texas. Um, have you ever played as a hitter in an actual game? When I was younger, yeah. Like I was a hitter until 11s in club, and then I played in middle school as the outside. And actually, one time during high school this year, my coach let me play outside because we were playing a really bad team. Um, okay, I'm picking like 2 more really good questions. Mm-mm. I'm 18. I've never played beach, like, actually, like, I just play with friends sometimes. Um, mm, okay, I'm really just looking for, like, a good question here. How did you become well known? I literally just, like one time I posted something about volleyball on some random spam account that I made, and it just blew up, and so then I just started getting followers from there, and I just thought it was fun, and so I just kept posting, and then it just kept blowing up, and I was like, "Okay." So it wasn't even intentional. Who's your favorite team to play in club? Definitely, like, my old teams, so, like, Skyline or Mad Frog, those were always fun games. Do you like to pancake or dolphin dive more? I like to pancake while I dolphin dive. Okay. What's your real name? My real name's Delaney Moon. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. I've been on live for, almost 3 hours, so I think it's about time now. But, hopefully I'll do this again soon, maybe even hop in with, someone else, Grace, Lucia, Mary, but yeah, so hopefully y'all can catch me next time, but I will see y'all soon. Bye. Bye, TikTok as well. Wait, how do I end this? No, I'm actually how do I end this? I'm so for real.